Well, we see these floods in Comrie, outside of Crieff in Scotland. Back in 2005, almost 10 years ago now. And here you can see some tornadoes I filmed and things in Scotland. In a minute, you'll see that shortly later on in the film.
We had landslides.
Yeah, there were landslides which went on the news, cut people off, and we had a big lake formed from this rain, covered about 40 square acres, I expect.
But just for the unjust, we die in our place.
Yeah, God sends the rain. He sent Christ as well to die in our place on the cross.
So the 8th of
He
January,
sends us all
05,
these
the floods
blessings to give us
Watch
food
these
in the
lakes,
field.
so there were no lakes now.
Gives us crops, gives us good things, as Job said. Shall we not receive good, and shall we not receive evil at the hands of God? And we have more good things than bad. You see the lake now, right? There's the lake.
January 05. See that? That is a lake where there was no lake. We had some huge floods. All of the villages were underwater. Further up
If you were slightly higher above the river, you weren't flooded out. We need to build a lot of these houses, I think, on pile foundations, have garages for the basement and build it 3 stories high. We need to build millions of new houses so that we can fill the earth again and repopulate the world, as God says. Be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. That's the park in Crieff.
Flooded in Crieff, the park. Well, God's goodness sends rain to all, good and bad, and we sometimes have too much rain. Well, the next day it snowed. 12th of January.
It's a bit strange. One day you get snow, and the next flood, the next rain, the next it was nice and warm and sunny and hot. It was a bit strange, the weather. Jesus said the sea and the waves will roar after the Jews have repossessed Jerusalem. So the sea and the waves roaring means more storms, bigger storms, as we saw in January 2013, leading up to January, all those floods we had in it. Going up 2014, we had the stormiest winter on record. The sea and the waves was definitely roaring then, as Jesus said will happen in the last days on earth. We'll see a lot more of it. We need to dredge all the rivers, because there'll be a lot more flooding. No excuse for it. It could be dredged all over the world. This is my home movies. This little tornado did come down to the ground according to a witness, my witness. See it come down a bit further in a minute. It actually started to turn sideways. That was the 2001 tornado. Much bigger one, of course, in 1999 August.
13th of July 01.
I sent it down to the BBC and they showed it on a Saturday afternoon across the UK. was August 2, 1999. Hope they put the preaching on it. I tried looking for the broadcast. My brother saw it, but I didn't see it. I filmed a tornado recently. It was high definition, and it was just outside. Well, it was in East Midlands anyway. That's not in this footage. You'll have to look at that. Look in the search box on my YouTube site of Bibliosca, and you should see it. Now, this is where the eyewitness said that it actually came down. He said it came down over the ground over there. So, you'll see it a bit better in a minute. A bit slow getting there. But a much bigger one came afterwards. Yeah, it's not very clear, this footage, but it's better than having had problems uploading it on that camcorder. A bit old, I think. So, God says that in His Word that the storms fulfill His Word. So, if we can see this weather here, it's quite rainy, and that rain which came down in torrents and floods through the night created
the landslide happened the next day, didn't it? Right up there.
And the landslide, it was the next day after that, heavy rain. That was just a little bit of it shown there. The rain was a lot heavier further up.
These skies produced a tornado.
This is the biggest tornado Britain's known. Came from these clouds.
About 20 miles.
The tornado, well, I should say the biggest one recently, in the last 10-15 years. There was a big one in the 1950s which covered about the same distance as this tornado, but this tornado you're about to see went over about 20 miles towards Stirling. It didn't do any damage. It was seen by quite a few people. Of course, this is the one which was shown on the BBC on the Saturday afternoon, which my brother saw, but I didn't see. He saw it in Wales. I didn't see it in Scotland. Had preaching on that. Hope they showed it. I didn't see the footage. Can't remember now. I've got another high definition. Comes down to the ground. Didn't do any damage. Broke one plant. That was about it. Swirled grass in the field. God, it didn't do any damage. Because my house was the next in line from it. And so was this one, came close to the roof of my house as well. You'll see it in a minute. You see how it comes closer to the ground and starts to become a bit more powerful. So when you think about the strength of those winds there, you'll see it in a minute. If they were to hit your house, you would know all about it. Anyway, God in His goodness sends the rain on the just and the unjust.